Welcome to this Tauri tutorial, where we'll build a clipboard manager with Tailwind CSS. First, let's check that Node, JS and Rust are installed. Node version 20 and Cargo are ready. Let's create our project. We navigate to our Tauri folder, where we'll create the project. We copy from our base template to create the clipboard app. Now we enter the project directory. Let's install the npm dependencies. Dependencies are installed. Now let's set up Tailwind CSS. First, we install Tailwind CSS along with PostCSS and AutoPrefixer as dev dependencies. PostCSS processes our CSS, and AutoPrefixer adds vendor prefixes automatically. Now we initialize Tailwind. The -p flag also creates a PostCSS config file. This creates tailwind.config, JS and postcss.config, JS in our project root. Let's configure Tailwind to scan our source files for class names. We export a config object with the content array. The content array tells Tailwind which files to scan for CSS classes. We include index, HTML, and all files in the src folder with these extensions. The theme and plugins sections are empty for now. Now we need to add the Tailwind directives to our CSS file. The @Tailwind base directive injects Tailwind's base reset styles. The components directive is for reusable component classes. The utilities directive includes all the utility classes like padding and colors. Now let's add the tauri-clipboard-manager plugin. We use cargo add to install the Rust dependency in our Tauri backend. This plugin provides read and write access to the system clipboard. Next, we install the JavaScript package for our React frontend. The npm package provides TypeScript bindings to call the Rust plugin. Both packages are now installed. Let's configure the backend. Let's edit the Rust backend to initialize our Clipboard plugin. First, we show the current lib.rs file. We open the file in NeoVim with the clean flag to avoid plugin interference. This attribute macro configures the entry point for mobile platforms. The run function is where we build our Tauri application. We call Tauri Builder Default to start configuring the app. The Opener plugin handles opening URLs and files in default apps. Here we add the Clipboard Manager plugin with its init function. Finally, we run the app with the generated context and handle any errors. The backend is now configured. Let's set up the permissions. Now we need to configure the security permissions for the clipboard. Let's view the current capabilities file. Opening the file in NeoVim. The schema helps with auto-completion and validation. The identifier names this capability set. Windows specifies which windows get these permissions. Core default provides basic Tauri functionality. Opener default allows opening external links. Clipboard Manager read all grants permission to read from clipboard. Write all grants permission to write to the clipboard. Now let's build our front end with React and Tailwind CSS. First, we import useState and useEffect from React. We also import the clipboard functions from the Tauri plugin. Read text reads from clipboard, write text writes to it. Our app component will manage the clipboard history. We create a history state as an array of strings. Current clip stores what's currently in the clipboard. We use an effect to poll the clipboard every second. This function checks the clipboard for new content. We call readText, which returns the current clipboard contents. We catch any errors silently, since the clipboard might be empty. If the text exists and is different from current, we update. We set the current clip to the new text. We add the new clip to the start of history, limiting to 10 items. We call checkClipboard immediately on mount. Then set up an interval to check every second. The cleanup function clears the interval when unmounting. The copy-to-clipboard function writes text back to the clipboard. We call writeText with the selected item. Then update current clip to reflect the change. The clearHistory function empties our history array. Now let's build the UI with Tailwind classes. The main container uses min-h-screen for full height. We apply a gradient from slate 900 to 800 for a dark theme. Padding of 8 gives nice spacing around the content. The header uses flex layout with justify between for spacing. The title is bold, text 3XL, and white colored. The clear button has red background with hover effect. Transition colors add smooth hover animation. Next, we show what's currently in the clipboard, a subtle label in slate 400 color. The content box has slate 700 background with rounded corners. We display the current clip or a placeholder if empty. The history section shows all previously copied items. If history is empty, we show a helpful message. We map over the history array to render each item. Each item uses the group class for hover child effects. The hover effect changes background and adds a glow shadow. Clicking an item copies it back to the clipboard. We truncate long text to keep the UI clean. The copy hint appears on hover using group hover opacity. Let's see our Clipboard Manager in action. The app shows the current clipboard content at the top. I'll copy some text from another window. Notice how it automatically appears in our history. Let me copy a few more items to build up the history. Now I can click any item to copy it back to the clipboard. See how the current clipboard updates immediately. The Clear button removes all history items. Beautiful styling with Tailwind and full clipboard functionality.